Hi guys, welcome back. It's been a while. I think it's been about like 2 weeks or something. So sorry that I haven't uploaded a video in a while. I have been busy. I've been to Scotland for 2 weeks. So I went to Scotland and I've been hiking around there and I've had the best time ever. It's probably the best 2 weeks of my life to date. It was such an epic trip and I videoed it all, so the video will be on shortly, but I thought today I'd do a video on what gear I took with me, so a little loadout video of all the stuff I took. I won't mention what food I took on the trip because I mention it in the actual video, but for gear wise I'll show you and run you through everything that I decided to take and why. So I hope you find this video interesting. Maybe you're planning a hike and you want to know what gear to take. I was actually, before I went, looking for a tent and a water filter to take with me, and I wasn't too sure what to buy, so I was looking through videos, trying to find review videos and stuff that would recommend to take on a hike. So I found some nice videos and hopefully this will benefit some people out there. So yeah, it's lovely to be back. It's nice to be filming a video. Today I'm just in my room. I'm not outside, sadly. I'm just in my room. I cannot wait to edit and upload the Scotland video. I think you're going to love it. I absolutely loved the trip. It was just so exciting. It was so free and it was just amazing, and I really enjoyed videoing it and I cannot wait to upload it. So that should be on shortly. I'm going to put them into parts, so part 1 will be up and then I'll probably do 2. It depends how many parts I have. I did so much filming, so there'll probably be quite a few parts to this series. I'm finally back home now and I'm already starting to plan to do some camp outs. So I've been back 2 days and I'm planning to go back up the woodland, finish off my teepee shelter, do some camp outs. I just want to get back outside again, but I thought I'd do this loadout video first and then see where it takes us. If you watch my dad's channel, Bushwhacker Man, you know he went on a Scotland trip with my mum in their Land Rover. They did the North Coast 500, yeah, so that was an epic trip. Really nice video as well, so go watch that if you're interested. They took their Land Rover Defender 110 around Scotland. There's like a specific route called the North Coast 500. So 500 miles around like some stunning scenery, and that's what they did for 1 month. So they videoed that if you want to check that out. I'll probably put a link in the description or somewhere up here where you can go watch it. So yeah, I was really inspired by their trip and I saw the footage. I was like, oh my, I want to go now. So they came back, I looked through the footage, I was like, I'm definitely going. So I booked a flight because I haven't been like away that far this year. So I really wanted to go end the year really well. Booked my flight to Glasgow, which is a major city in Scotland. And then I booked like a coach and other little bits and bobs, got some extra gear that I needed, and I was off. I went, and yeah, it was amazing. Like I said, best 2 weeks of my life. I enjoyed every moment of it. I have no regrets. It was such an epic adventure, and I'm definitely going to visit Scotland again, do more adventures like this. And it's really inspired me to get my own car so I can visit places like that and maybe travel across Europe, Scandinavia. I really loved like travelling and seeing new places, and it's just amazing. I hope you like the gear that like seeing what gear I took. Maybe you find it interesting, and I'll also might do a review if you want to hear some reviews of some of the products I took and be honest, completely honest, because you don't want to take gear that's unreliable or not actually good. so I'll do honest reviews on stuff I took with me. I've bought all the gear here, it's not sponsored, it's not been given to me to review, so I'll give a proper honest review. So I'm going to go through the bag that I decided to take with me, the backpack. I took 2 backpacks in the end, so I thought that was the best idea. Obviously I got a plane from London to Glasgow, so I needed, well, I didn't need to do it, but I wanted to have a hand luggage and a cabin luggage, and also I wanted a separate bag for like my camera gear and stuff that I wanted to be able to access easily without having to take my backpack off. So I had a front bag, and then this is my backpack with like, had all my main stuff in, and my little front bag just had like camera equipment, my water filter, just batteries, just things that I would want to put my hands on quickly, so like my water, any snacks, things like that. And then in here I had my main like camping essentials. So this is my lovely backpack. This is an Osprey Pack. You've probably seen it in my hiking video before. I take this on my hikes. So yeah, it's a 65 litre pack. That was enough room to fit most of my gear, or pretty much all of it, in here. It's also got some outside pockets where you can put stuff in, the top cap and the front hip pockets that you can use as well. I'm really happy with this pack. It was amazing, it was super comfy, the waterproof cover was amazing on it, everything fitted in there, the straps were really great for altering. It was just, I have no regrets for this bag, I literally love it. The only regret I probably have is the size I chose. I think I got a medium long back, and I really needed a smaller size. Amazing ventilation on the back here, so it's got really good venting system. Straps are super comfortable, really comfortable, and all the weight is on your hips. It's got really thick hip pads, like a belt pretty much, so all the weight is on your hips, and it's got a really nice curve in the back. This is made for a woman's back, so obviously women have a bit more curvier back, so this was great for me, really comfortable, and the straps are awesome as well. It's also got a little whistle on the strap, on the buckle here, the chest buckle, so that's a really good design. My next essential piece of equipment was my tent. Obviously, you know, I have a few tents. I've got like the Lavu and the DD hammock pyramid tent, and I used to have an MSR tent. So I've had quite a few, and I've tried different tents over a series of time. So I wanted a really good tent that was lightweight, that was really reliable, that was really good for strong winds and the rain, because it rains so much in Scotland, like so much, and I really wanted a nice waterproof tent that was light, that would fit me and all my gear in. So yeah, that was the mission. And I looked all over the internet, I asked people's advice, and I finally came up with a tent, which is the Gogh Bunchy 200 Pro. So this is a 2-man tent, and yeah, this fitted me comfortably in it with loads of headroom. I could sit up in the tent, so it's great for getting change and sorting out, and it had a really big vestibule, so that fitted this in there, my pack, and then inside I had my smaller day pack that fitted inside, and then I had enough room for my boots to fit in the vestibule. So it had plenty of room, has little pockets inside also that you can put essential items in. This was on the outside of my bag. It was pretty much wet most times I put it away, so I didn't want it inside my pack with everything else, so it'd go outside on the straps on the back of the backpack on the Osprey. So yeah, like I said, it's a 2-man tent. I wouldn't recommend getting it for 2 people. It's not big enough. So I don't see how 2 people get in it. It must be very tight. But comfortably, I think it fits 1 perfectly with all their gear and equipment. Really like the colour. It's a nice colour. It's and it was so waterproof. I had no problems with the tent. It was really good size. It was waterproof, kept all my gear dry. It stood up to the winds. The only downfall, and I don't know if this has happened with anybody else, I've asked people who own this tent and it's never happened to them, so maybe it's just me, it might be the manufacturer, it might be the batch that I got, but both of the poles cracked on this tent. There's 2 sets of poles. You've got there's a big pole for the front of the tent, and there's a little set of poles for the back of the tent. Both of them cracked and snapped on me. At the beginning of the trip, there was a storm that hit Scotland, this part I was in, Storm Lorenzo or something, so that's understandable. I was setting up the tent and it cracked. Second time, it was not windy at all and it just gave way. So you'll see that in the video when that happened and how I dealt with it. So I might be writing to Van Gogh or something and try get a pole, because I can't believe both of them went. I've only owned this tent for 2 weeks. I'd literally got it before I went, and it was the first time I used it, so I only slept in it 13 nights. So yeah, that was a bit of a disappointment, a real letdown that happened, and I didn't really trust the tent then on when they cracked the first time. It wasn't really, I didn't feel confident in it after that, setting it up with the poles. And it's not like I have no experience setting up tents, it's not like I've never used a tent before. I have, and yeah, just cracked. So I'll give a review on that, maybe if anyone wants one, because I'm really happy with the tent. It was just the pole situation that was a bit of a letdown. So I did mention earlier that I took 2 packs, the Osprey, and this was my front pack. So this went on the front of me. It's just a normal Camelback pack, the luxe one. I really wanted a small little pack like this that's got a few compartments in it, so I'd put my camera gear, snack bars, water filter, you name it. It would go in the front, so it was easy accessible. I also took the bladder with me just in case, that just fits in the back here. It's a 3-litre bladder, and it just goes in the back, and you can have the tube to drink from, which just makes it easier. But that was really comfy and it was really handy, and yeah, obviously if I went for a longer hike, I probably would try downscale and get rid of this, but it is hard when you're vlogging and videoing to try and fit everything in one pack, so I kind of needed another little pack like this for camera equipment. This was also made a really good day pack as well. Both of the bags, I really needed a waterproof cover just to cover them. They both performed really, really well. So this one had a yellow little waterproof pack that just fits in the middle here. There's a little compartment at the bottom, and let's get it out. Here it comes. It's just gives you a waterproof cover, so all your gear stays dry. It just fits over the top like that. Just fits on there. So yeah, that kept all my stuff dry. And the Osprey little cover that you get with it was amazing as well. So that was great. My sleeping bag that I decided to take was the Rab Ascent 900. This is a sleeping bag that that I always take with me pretty much. It's a 4-season sleeping bag. It's amazing. Compact's really small. Can even, I think if you're getting this sleeping bag, recommend getting a compression sack for it, just to get it that little bit smaller, because it can go smaller. This is just the standard compression sack that comes with it. Amazing sleeping bag, so warm. Did have some cold nights, especially with the wind chill while I was there, and this just kept me really warm. It's also really lightweight and compact for how much warmth it gives off. That's duck down, if you're wondering. I must mention, a lot of my gear I put into waterproof sacks. Like I've said, it rains a lot in Scotland, so I didn't want any of my gear to get wet, so everything was pretty much in waterproof bags. My sleeping bag I put in a wet bag along with my clothes, which is just a standard carry more dry bag that you do up at the top. It keeps all your stuff dry, so that was really good. It's not that expensive, it's just a carry more one, but it kept all my gear dry. So I had my clothing and my sleeping bag in there, and then that was in my Osprey. I took my roll mat in a waterproof bag, just a normal plastic waterproof bag. You have probably seen me use this roll mat in all my camping videos. I always take it with me pretty much. So it is the Thermarest Venture. It's so lightweight, it's compact, and it's just a really reliable roll mat. You have to inflate it, it's not self-inflating, but really good. Doesn't go down in the night. It's really comfortable. I just love it. I've always take it with me, and it's just essential for hiking. You're hiking every day, so you want to get a good sleep, and it keeps you off the ground as well. The next option I wasn't too sure about. It was something that I was debating because of the weight, but then it's also really good to take, I guess, and I wasn't too sure what to do about it. So this is them. This was what I wasn't too sure about doing, taking other shoes apart from my hiking boots. I took a pair of army issued boots that I've been given by a friend, and they're quite high boots on your ankles, so I had a load of ankle support, and they're really good boots. They're really reliable when some of the ground's quite marshy land and it's uneven, so with that extra ankle support it was brilliant. After a while, boots do take their toll on your feet, especially when you're in them all day, so I was thinking it was a good idea to take day shoes, which it was. I don't regret taking these, but like I said, if it's a longer hike and all the weight mattered, I probably wouldn't. But these were perfect for when you get to camp and you just want to take your boots off but just keep walking around, make your food, things like that. So these were absolutely brilliant. These are wet shoes, and I was kindly given them, and they are absolutely amazing. I love them. You can go in the streams in them. I'm definitely taking these canoeing when I go. Canoeing or kayaking, they're just perfect. They're really light little shoes that are really bendy, but have also got a sole for protection on the bottom, so they're perfect. I really like these. These were so essential when your feet just need a break, and you can put these on in the evenings. So something that was absolutely essential and that I really needed to focus on was my waterproofs that I was going to take. So a jacket and trousers. So because it rains pretty much all day every day, you need some really quality waterproofs. I do have waterproof clothes, but it's for more bushcraft, so they're heavier, they're camo, and they're not amazing because I didn't really want to spend out loads for bushcraft, because you're normally under a shelter or you can dry off by a fire. But for hiking, you're out in it all day, and then you have to sleep in. You just can't dry your clothes out. You just have to have a fire or something, and I didn't take a saw, and there's barely any wood around in Scotland in the area I was in, so I couldn't have a fire, so I just needed really quality waterproofs. So I did a bit of research, asked around, and this is what I decided on. Rab waterproof trousers. These were absolutely amazing. Never my legs and my trousers always stay dry in these. Real quality trousers. Yeah, it's got a buckle at the bottom. You've got just-in toggle if you want to adjust to your boots or whatever. If you don't want the water going into your boots, you can tighten it. And then it's got a little toggle and a zip for when you want to maybe put it over your trousers or take the trousers off. So, absolutely brilliant. Really recommend these trousers. And for the top layer, I decided to go with Rab again. I'm not sponsored. If you think I'm sponsored by Rab, I love their gear. I literally do. So I got the Rab Firewall waterproof jacket. I've got bright red. I wanted to be seen in case, I don't know, it's just good when you're climbing or when you're on a hike and you're wearing a bright colour. I was walking next to roads a lot of the time, so I was easily seen by wearing red. It's got a special hood as well for when people wear helmets with rock climbing. So it's got a peak there. So I wore a cap a lot of the time, and this would go over my cap, so water wasn't always in my face. It's got tightening adjustment straps on the sides, so you can tighten and make it fit right round your face so water doesn't drip in and run on your clothes. And then obviously you've got some Velcro tightening for your arms. And then I really like this pocket. You get a pocket at the side on your chest, and you also get 2 other pockets on your sides. But this was amazing. Loved it. Never got wet in this either. I also decided to take a poncho with me. So I didn't really need to take it with me. If I went again, I probably wouldn't bother. But it was just a cheap kind of navy poncho that you stick your arms out, got a hood. The main reason I used this was going to the toilet. There's no trees, there's nothing to stand behind, and yeah, sometimes you, when you're walking along the road or the trail and you're desperate, you just need to go, I guess. So the poncho was perfect for that job. There's no toilets, no public toilets around or anything, so that was amazing for that job, just being able to kind of pretend you're sitting down, but yeah, it just looks like you're kneeling down or something. Brilliant. That was its main job. For waterproofing, it isn't amazing. This is an expensive one. I think when you buy, well, the more you spend, the better quality you get with anything. So yeah, but I don't know, ponchos aren't really for me personally. I felt when the wind picked up it would be flying around everywhere, and your arms get wet because it doesn't have any arms on it. Your arms just be sticking out. It just, no, I'd prefer the waterproof jacket and the trousers for me personally. So I took the Soya Squeeze mini water filter with me. Basically, you get a bag like this. This isn't a litre bag. It is 16 ounces. So you go to the stream or the river, you fill this up, and you get your little lid with it as well. So you collect your water, unscrew this, you'd fit it to the filter, like so, screw it on, take the lid off probably beforehand, and you check that there isn't dirty water running from this and that's running down into your pot or whatever you're filling up. So I'd put it into this bottle, but I'd usually put it far back so that nothing will drip into my bottle and contaminate the water. The water is so clean there that you don't really need to be essential with the filtering and be really on it. It's so clean, but there is chances of E. coli around there that I saw on a few signs, and it's better to purify your water because you don't know what's died upstream or that's been contaminating the water further up the mountain. So it was always good to wash it out, or filter it, I mean, before you drink it. This filter was great. It's tiny, size of my hand. The only problem I had was the bag. This bag isn't the strongest in material, the plastic. You'll notice this looks brand new, it's because it is. I sent the one back that I had because it was puncturing, it was piercing, all the water was spraying out the sides of the bag because it had all holes in where I'd been screwing it, or the cold must have got to it, and it's just punctured holes in the top. And so yeah, I sent that back and they kindly sent me a new one. That was Amazon, so I was really happy with that. I will see how it goes, if it will puncture again, and I'll do a review on it and say what I think about it. But I used it every day for 2 weeks without fail, and I used it every day a couple of times, three or more times a day, so I used it loads. So I put the water, the clean water, once I purified it, into this Nalgene bottle. This is a 1 litre bottle. It's plastic and it's got all your measurements on the side. It's got a screw lid and you can also hold it as well. So this was perfect. I got this just before the trip as well. This was a new item along with the filter. And yeah, I was really chuffed with this. I normally take a stainless steel clean canteen or Pathfinder bottle with me, but it's too heavy for hiking. It's way too heavy. You need a lightweight plastic bottle, and this is like a hardcore plastic. Next is my cooking kit. So I would usually have rice or porridge, and I'd always cook it in here. And this is a stainless steel Pathfinder mug with the little lid. It's got nice little butterfly handles so it can fold away nice and small. I wanted to take the stainless steel because just in case my water filter broke down and I needed to purify my water, I would have had to make a fire, and this can go on a fire because it's stainless steel. Where if I got a titanium one, you can't put that on a fire and boil water. I've used this so much in the past and it's never let me down. So yeah, I'd be using this a lot, and I wanted something that I could rely on. So this was, yeah, great. And it was a backup for purifying water. The spoon I took was just a lightweight titanium spork. And it's the Snow Peak one. I was given it by one of my subscribers and my Patreons, Charles. So this is my cooking, purifying water setup. I took my shamog with me, which does so many multiple tasks. For me, this was great for getting my cup off the stove. I could have used the material if I needed to filter particles out of the water, but there weren't big particles in the water because it's so clean. Yeah, it's just got a load of different uses. It was a scarf, it dried my gear, acted like a towel. Good piece of kit. And also, whilst I'm on about the cook set I took, this was the Primus Stove that I got. So I needed a little gas stove. Obviously I can't be cooking and boiling water on a fire, so I needed a stove. This stove's got electronic ignition and it screws on. It's like a push and screw design. And there's the stove. It's got really solid legs on it. I don't want a stove that's going to be tipping around and that you've got to wait in case it tips off. So yeah, and I'll tell you actually something now, a little story. This was great. This was really great. I'll probably talk about it more in a different video, but I got this just for the trip as well. So I got a lot of new bits of kit with me. So basically, on the day I set off, I think it was I can't remember now. The day I went to get my flight to Glasgow, I was all ready, I had all my gear packed, I was all organised, and I was just about to get on my flight. Well, I was just checking in my gear, so I had this backpack, and I just was going to, you weigh it and then you put it on the plane or whatever, and it come up that you can't take gas bottles with you. So I already worked out roughly how much gas I'd be using and what gas bottle to take. So I had a little bottle about that size, like Coleman's, that fits with my stove, and I had it all sorted. I had it packed away in the bag, and me being me, you're not allowed to take gas bottles on a plane, and I didn't know that, and that was silly of me, and I should have put more research into it, but I just thought you were allowed to have gas bottles on a plane. Clearly not. So I had to take that out, and I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? I knew where I was going, there wasn't many shops around. Well, there wasn't any shops at all there. So I knew there was a campsite, so I called up the campsite, to see if they sold gas bottles. They didn't sell gas bottles, so I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I know I can make fire every night because I don't have a saw, and there's not loads of wood there, and I can't be relying on making a fire, especially if the weather's really bad and you've done a hike. You want to just put a gas stove on. That's a simple method. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to have to go into Glasgow town and try find a camping shop that sells the right gas for my stove. So I just landed in Glasgow, and yeah, I looked around to see if there was any camping shops nearby. I rang up the camping shop, saw to see if they sell gas and what gas they sell, if it's the right stuff that I need. I was all having a bit of a mare. Finally, I found a camping shop that was a mile away. So I had to get a taxi to a camping shop. I had to make the taxi wait for me so I could sort out the gas and see if it actually fitted my stove. So once that was all sorted, I got my gas. I got the little ones, and I got 3 of them, and I got 3 of them little ones that you get. Finally, I got back to the airport, got the taxi back, and then I had to get a coach, and that was all sorted. So it was all good. I got gas in the end, so I did cook my stuff and boil my water on gas. So the story worked out well in the end, but it was a bit of a nightmare beforehand. But I guess as part of the trip, you've got to take the rough with the smooth, and that was a laugh. It was funny now looking back at it, and it is a learning experience as well. So that's my little story about gas. Like I said before, pretty much everything I took with me was kept in waterproof bags. So these are mainly the waterproof bags I took with me. I had this one, which is excellent, but everything else is just not in normal plastic bags. And I'll just have a quick run through of what's in them. I took a GoPro as well for filming. So GoPro is brilliant, especially wet weather. In here I just had my Olight head torch, which I took with me. It was really handy, and I had some charging leads and units for charging my cameras and that. This is the camera charger actually, that would go in there. So I had leaves, I had spare batteries for my camera. Here I have my first aid kit. So this is everything I needed to take for first aid. Just plasters, blister plasters, tape, pills, things like that. This was the map I took. It's an OS map for the area I went to, so Glencoe, covered everywhere I needed. And then I've also got my Sonto compass that is amazing. So it's pretty straightforward navigating where I was, but this was a good backup choice because it's always good to take a map and a compass. And here I've got like flannel for washing. I had a pack of wet ones for washing my body, my face, and then I'd like had a bag full of my like toothbrush, toothpaste, hairbrush, you name it, them sort of things. And here though, this was really essential. It's like a repair kit. So this was everything I carried in my repair kit. Took a spare lighter. I took about 3-4 lighters in total. Got my Swiss Army knife, which has so many different tools on there. It's an absolutely amazing tool. I use the scissors quite a bit and the little knife on there. And I also used the tool for opening tins. Got some black tape, which I used for my tent. Got a few plasters. This is the repair kit that comes with the Van Gogh tent. So you got spare patches for the material on this pole that fixes your pole. I brought a little sewing kit in case any of my clothes got ruined. Nail file and a nail clip. If you ever have a nail that's been bent or ingrown toenail, which can happen when you're hiking, this is great to take just in case. And you don't want to have long nails, you just want to cut them off. They just get in the way. It's pointless having long nails. These patches are for my roll mat. I wanted to take some spare patches just in case it punctured. Got some safety pins, got loads of them. I did use them quite a bit, safety pins. And then, yeah, that's everything. That was my repair kit. Next bag I've got here is I took 2 toilet rolls with me. I took talcum powder and a towel, like a microfiber towel. I knew I'd be staying at a hut halfway through my trip and I wanted a wash there, so that's why I took that. Also towel because I was wet a lot so I could dry off. That's the Euro Height travel towel. And then I took talcum powder for my hair and just my body. And then obviously toilet roll for going to the toilet. So yeah, that's pretty much all the little separates I carried with me. So that pretty much covers the main essentials that I took with me to this 2-week Scotland trip. I might do a separate video of clothing that I like to take hiking, or like a clothing haul, so you can see some of my clothes that I really like and that I recommend. Clothing was also a biggie for there, getting the correct socks to keep your feet warm and sort of dry, and thermals and things like that, and also waterproofs. Yeah, I pretty much covered everything there. There's still a little bits that are not that important. These are the main essential things that I took, but I might be doing a review on that tent or anything else that people want to see a review on. Just leave it in the comments. Overall, I think my pack was about 24 kilograms. I know the main pack, the big pack, was 20.5, and the rest built up in that little day pack. My stuff gained a lot of weight through water, especially my tent. That got a lot heavier where it was just wet. I'd pack it away wet. Everything was soaked. That tent also comes with pegs and poles. I didn't use the pegs a lot. I mainly used rocks for putting my tent down. The ground's just so rocky, you can't get a tent peg in, so you just have to put rocks around your tent most of the time. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to uploading my 2-week Scotland trip. It's absolutely amazing. It got finished off great as well. You have to watch it through and see what happened near the end. It finished my trip off so well, so well. And I met such amazing people along the way, really inspiring people. It was just an epic trip and I really, really miss it. And hopefully I can plan to go back there or do a similar trip next year or soon. I'm really interested in doing the West Highland Way. I met a few people near me because the path was near me. I actually walked a little bit of the path, and yeah, it's the West Highland Way, so that is a 95-mile hike from Glasgow to Fort William. So, and it goes all through the west coast, like through mountainous, really pretty areas, and it finishes around Ben Nevis, which is the tallest mountain in the UK. But yeah, so I might think about doing that next year. It looked really amazing and that's something I'd love to do, so I might look into it. I'm not too sure. I will see how the year goes. We've got to finish this year off before we get on to next year. But yeah, happy days, happy days. I will be uploading this Scotland video shortly, so I hope you enjoy it, and put the notification bell on so you know when it goes on and you'll be the first to watch it. So I'll also be uploading photos to Instagram and Patreon if you want to have a look at them. And I took so many photos, so many, so there'll be loads on there. But thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much. Thank you to all your support. And I cannot believe I got back and I saw that I had hit 30,000 subscribers, which is amazing. I cannot believe it. So thank you so much. I passed my goal. My goal this year was to get 27,000 subscribers and I'm 30, so it's absolutely mad. And I'm so happy that I passed my year goal that I set for myself at the beginning in January. So yeah, take care, enjoy your week or your weekend, and I will see you all soon.